And
Yeah.
I guess the last question is, I'm gonna give you the floor. What are some misconceptions of Scientology held by society today, whether that's social media or people or internet trolls, that you feel it is important to just clear up, debunk? Just
So it's so that's tough, and I almost don't want to give them extra airtime because for the most part they, um, like I said, people tend to so there's two classes of things that I've seen out and about. There's the stuff that's all the way made up, like completely made up, like the Scientologists can't talk to their children for a year,
mm,
or they're when Scientologists can't say no to their children. That's another one that I heard. I'm like, where'd you get that? You made that up. You made that up, right? Like, so there's stuff that just totally just somebody dreamt it up because it sounds nobody knows that it's wrong, so I can just say it, sort of a thing, right?
yeah.
So you have that class of things. Then you have another class of wackiness is where somebody will take a place, a Scientology related place that really exists, a practice that really exists, a person that really exists, and then make up a story about that didn't actually take place. And then say, Scientologists do this. And you go, okay, so the fact that you said 3 things that were right and 7 that were wrong doesn't make this story 30% true.
Yeah.
It makes it's a 100% false story about a real place. So, and it's those ones that unfortunately I think get the most airtime, because those are the hardest to punch in the mouth, because because I've had people, because I used to work for the church a long time ago, and so I've been around a lot of stuff. I've been around people at local levels, at regional levels, at international levels. I've been to church openings. I've worked on some of these big programs. I've
What do you work as in the church?
so I've worked in personnel. I've worked doing ethics things. So when people talk about what happens when people get kicked out of the church, it was one of my jobs, actually. So I know exactly how that works, and it's not how people say it works. So but I also worked doing internet stuff. I mean, I like I said, I've been doing internet since I was 17, 18. And so I ended up kind of getting into a bunch of internet stuff. And so a lot of marketing, a lot of handling of things happening online. So it's so I've seen a lot of that. And so when somebody says, Scientologists do this, or this happened, I go, why? There's no way that could happen. But how do you, now the burden of proof is upon me to disprove the thing that you said happened. And I have to, it's hard to give you proof that a made up thing didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's almost impossible. Like prove you've never hit someone. Like, do I now get an affidavit from every person I've ever worked with that says, yes, Tad never hit me, plus a video statement, some of the burden of proof that you would have to come up with to disprove a random story is really hard, to the point where but see, and that's the unfortunate part about the way that media works, is that I can write a story that says, I super like Scientology and it makes me feel good. And it will get 1 click, and that will be me when I check to make sure the story posted just fine. Maybe my dad, and so nobody wants to read that. It's like who, but if I said I was wronged, you want to hear about how I was brutally misled, everybody's like, dude, I need to, I'm with you, man. So that stuff gets airtime. That stuff gets clicks. It's social media friendly. It's, clickety click, let's pile on with the comments. And so that's, but that puts me in an interesting place. I sometimes I end up on the back foot. Sometimes somebody says, well, you realize that everybody's beaten there. I'm like, no, they're not. No, you know, but then I end up having to say, well, come on, okay, hey, I was just there. I was at the church headquarters at Flag just now. Shall I show you a picture of my sister who works there right now? Cool. Look, see her smiling. Like, do I need to take a video of her talking? Like it's
yeah,
it makes that sort of thing kind of weird. But this is I guess this is just why to just keep being out there. And this is why I don't mind doing interviews too, because, you know, you're obviously respectful and real, and you don't have an ulterior motive of like, I'm going to talk him into a corner. I'm going to watch him squirm. Like that's not I can tell that's not the point. Unfortunately there are those out there that, you know, I'll post something out there on Reddit or something like that. And then there are questions that people will ask me, like specifically geared so that it can be a, do you still beat your wife type question? Like, okay, no matter how he answers this, we're gonna jump down his throat kind of a thing. So, you know, oh well. So yeah, anyway, to answer your question, I don't necessarily have any specific misconception. Partially also, and I guess part of the reason why I don't really feel the need to take up a specific misconception is that if somebody's ever confused about like what do Scientologists believe about X, what we believe is sitting there in the books, and those books are for the most part already sitting in libraries. A lot of us have personally donated to campaigns to make sure they're sitting in a library, so you don't even have to buy it. You know, just walk there. And I'll bet you if you go to your public library, there's a set of these books that are sitting there that somebody like me, or, you know, actually put some money into making sure that they were there, so that you wouldn't even have to guess at it. You just walk in there and check one out. Mm-hmm. So, but that sort of stuff answers what we believe. It's not what we believe isn't what is in that, you know, crazy National Enquirer article that, you know, was there just to entertain people while they're trying to make their kids not pick up a Three Musketeers bar. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much for letting me interview you.
You're welcome. And if anything else comes up, you're like, oh, you know, damn it, I should have asked him about that. Then you know, fire it my way. But I'm here.
Thank you so much. This has been great.
You're welcome. I'll stop the recording now then.
Okay. It's like so hard to just find